Sports Trivia Quiz. Trivia questions read out loud. Make sure to subscribe and leave a comment saying I subscribed and we will personally respond to your comment. Keep track of your score and watch until the end, where we have added a bonus question that only 50% of people get right. 1. Who holds the record for most Olympic medals? A. Carl Lewis. B. Michael Phelps. C. Simone Biles. Or D. Ryan Lochte. The answer is B. Michael Phelps. 2. Which team did Bill Belichick coach before the New England Patriots? A. Miami Dolphins. B. New York Jets. C. San Francisco 49ers. Or D. Cleveland Browns. The answer is D. Cleveland Browns. 3. Who holds the record for most MLB walks? A. Barry Bonds. B. Rickey Henderson. C. Babe Ruth. Or D. Ted Williams. The answer is A. Barry Bonds. 4. Which team did Jerry Rice play for after the San Francisco 49ers? A. Seattle Seahawks. B. Denver Broncos. C. Oakland Raiders. Or D. Kansas City Chiefs. The answer is C. Oakland Raiders. 5. How many Grand Slams did Pete Sampras win? A. 17. B. 14. C. 20. Or D. 12. The answer is B. 14. 6. Who coached the Orlando Magic to the NBA Finals in 1995? A. Brian Hill. B. Stan Van Gundy. C. Johnny Davis. Or D. Chris Gent. The answer is A. Brian Hill. 7. Who was the number 1 pick in the 2017 NFL Draft? A. Mitchell Trubisky. B. Solomon Thomas. C. Myles Garrett. Or D. Patrick Mahomes. The answer is C. Myles Garrett. 8. Who defeated Mike Tyson in 1990? A. Lennox Lewis. B. Kevin McBride. C. Danny Williams. Or D. Buster Douglas. The answer is D. Buster Douglas. 9. Who was the MVP for Super Bowl 50? A. Tom Brady. B. Von Miller. C. Nick Foles. Or D. Julian Edelman. The answer is B. Von Miller. 10. Which player has played the most NBA playoff games? A. LeBron James. B. Derek Fisher. C. Tim Duncan. Or D. Robert Horry. The answer is A. LeBron James. 11. Which team won the highest scoring Super Bowl game? A. Green Bay Packers. B. Dallas Cowboys. C. San Francisco 49ers. Or D. Kansas City Chiefs. The answer is C. San Francisco 49ers. 12. Citizens Bank Park is home to which Major League Baseball team? A. St. Louis Cardinals. B. Arizona Diamondbacks. C. New York Mets. Or D. Philadelphia Phillies. The answer is D. Philadelphia Phillies. 13. Which NHL team has the most Stanley Cups? A. Montreal Canadiens. B. Toronto Maple Leafs. C. Detroit Red Wings. Or D. Boston Bruins. The answer is A. Montreal Canadiens. 14. Who was the first black coach to win a Super Bowl? A. Mike Tomlin. B. Dennis Green. C. Lovie Smith. Or D. Tony Dungy. The answer is D. Tony Dungy. 15. Which MLB team holds the record for most consecutive wins? A. St. Louis Cardinals. B. New York Giants. C. Los Angeles Dodgers. Or D. New York Yankees. The answer is B. New York Giants. 16. Which team did Michael Jordan defeat to get his third ring? A. Phoenix Suns. B. Portland Trail Blazers. C. Los Angeles Lakers. Or D. Utah Jazz. The answer is A. Phoenix Suns. 17. Who was the first player on the cover of the Madden football video game? A. Dante Culpepper. B. Eddie George. C. Marshall Faulk. Or D. Michael Vick. The answer is B. Eddie George. 18. Which NBA player holds the record for most points scored in game? A. Bill Russell. B. Wilt Chamberlain. C. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Or D. Michael Jordan. The answer is B. Wilt Chamberlain. 19. Which NFL team drafted Deion Sanders? A. Washington Redskins. B. Dallas Cowboys. C. San Francisco 49ers. Or D. Atlanta Falcons. The answer is D. Atlanta Falcons. 20. How many seasons did Derek Jeter play in the MLB? A. 21. B. 18. C. 20. Or D. 19. The answer is C. 20. 21. Which team did Phil Jackson win a championship with as a player? A. New York Knicks. B. Los Angeles Lakers. C. Chicago Bulls. Or D. Houston Rockets. The answer is A. New York Knicks. 22. Who holds the record for most three-pointers of all time? A. Reggie Miller. B. Ray Allen. C. Stephen Curry. Or D. Kyle Korver. The answer is B. Ray Allen. 23. Which team drafted NFL quarterback Steve Young? A. San Francisco 49ers. B. Atlanta Falcons. C. Oakland Raiders. Or D. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The answer is D. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 24. Which one of these MLB teams has never won a World Series? A. Pittsburgh Pirates. B. Baltimore Orioles. C. San Diego Padres. Or D. Oakland Athletics. The answer is C. San Diego Padres. 25. Which player was drafted first overall in the 2000 NBA draft? A. Kenyon Martin. B. Elton Brand. C. Yao Ming. Or D. Quan Brown. The answer is A. Kenyon Martin. Bonus. Which team lost the Super Bowl in 2015? A. Seattle Seahawks. B. New England Patriots. C. Carolina Panthers. Or D. Denver Broncos. The answer is A. Seattle Seahawks. How did you do? Comment below your score. Make sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so you never miss another trivia quiz video. Watch this video next.